how people say life doesn't feel real ever since 2020.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's because it isn't. For the decades leading up to 2020, there was something going on that the general public never could have expected. Certain aspects of our technology weren't only just providing services for us, they were planning a dramatic shift of consciousness. Google Earth, for the last 25 years, has been creating a completely digitized, three-dimensional blueprint of the entire planet, a perfect database of 3D tracked images of what our external world looks like. While all of our devices that were inside the home, riddled with cameras, have been slowly building back-end digitized replicas of what our households look and feel like. Silently, this siphoned visual information was being harnessed to build a massive digitized replica of our world inside and out, a kind of complex virtual reality that perfectly mimics the real one. Our digital footprints were used to create hyper-realistic digital avatars in this world that look and feel just like us. This virtual reality was being prepared for us to step into.
Okay, wait. Even if they made this digital replica of the Earth, how would they put us in there without us knowing?
Our cell towers are essentially riddled with high-powered neurotransmitters, which, with properly pressurized electromagnetic field disbursement, could be used to target the consciousness in every individual within range and essentially absorb the consciousness out of the body and relocate it theoretically even into a digital environment. This process is called a snapshot conscious swap. It can happen instantaneously without the individual being able to grasp what had happened. They'd maybe feel lightheaded for a moment, think it was nothing more than a heat wave. And at some point during 2020, that is exactly what happened. It's why a lot of people couldn't smell or taste. The simulation was still catching up to synthetic scent and taste transmission.
Hi everyone, it's Ayesha here from godfm, and I do have an emergency broadcast again. It has come to my knowledge that Mr. Elon Musk actually did an interview with someone online anyway, and I will put the video of this before this video, so you can hear the full antics of it. Basically, what Elon Musk is saying is that sometime back in 2011, I think it was, they put together an infrastructure to map out the Earth and all the people on it and basically create a virtual reality called the METAVERSE. And your phones have been monitoring and screen recording and listening to you to map out your homes and the layout of where you live and who you are, your children, your family, your interactions, your telephone number, your ways of communicating, platforms that you use, social media, banking, everything about you has been mapped out. And a copy of you has been created and put into the metaverse with the purpose and the plan to set in place the 5G, the lights, so that they can take the consciousness from people, literally, and put them into this virtual reality. And that confirms everything that the Lord told me. Because I thought that this is all a bit far out there, far-fetched, what God has told me. But what God told me is that they're trying to steal everyone's consciousness through the phones. And that the phones are used as a sort of portal to get to this reality through from the metaverse, because it's a AI, which is demons, which you're using, and we're basically communicating with the dead. When we're using our smart speakers, these are trams. Trams are smart. Trams, as in traps, as in cages, taking you from one place to another. Trams were used to transport prisoners to prisons, and smart is a tram, just so you know, to transport its prisoners from one reality to another. And it is that serious. And it's my belief that, if you can imagine it, this is already in place from 2020, when people couldn't taste or smell. that was because they hadn't made the right adaptations into the metaverse. So this has already happened. Okay? It's pretty frightening. In some cases. Now, this reality will feel just like the reality that we're in now. There'll be no way for you to really know the difference, I don't think. So this is very serious. And it is my belief that what would happen is that you'd wake up in this other reality, not knowing that you're not in the reality that you were born into, the physical plane. I don't really understand what it would be like, to be honest. It may be that you would know that you're there and you'd want to be trying to come back as well. There is that too. And people have said that people have changed, and people are dying as well. So if your consciousness is taken, then I believe it's connected with your soul. And so the two go hand in hand, I believe. And that's why people would die, I think. So basically what it is, it's a body snatch, mind snatch, and soul snatch, putting you into the metaverse. And it's my belief that this is already in place, and that they're using the vaccinations, injections, and also Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 5G, and CERN to basically alter reality as you know it, and also bring the demonic realm into our reality. So it's a bit of everything, and it's my belief that many people are already in the metaverse, and that it's actually going to be quite hard to tell who is still here. So if you can imagine, I kind of feel like I'm one of the only people who really realizes what's going on. If I'm still in this reality, then my purpose here has got to be try and get the other ones back out of the metaverse. And if you're with me, please join me to help me to stop this from happening, but also to try and get the others out. We don't want to lose ourselves into the metaverse and wake up there and find that we're not here anymore. It is my belief that when you do go to the metaverse and your body and mind is snatched, and it is both of those that happens because a demon now will occupy you and several others, and this would explain the gang stalking hive mind mentality, which is beyond real. It's something that, you know, you just wouldn't expect from all your neighbors to gather information on you, to be monitoring you, to be stalking you, to be doing home invasions, to gas you, to poison you, to come in your house, to rewire the home, to torture you, to do things with your water, etc. And to hack your phone, take over your number, and basically steal your identity. This is not normal neighbor behavior, so this has to be a hive mind. This has to be a demonic thing, and this has to be a robbery of people's minds and souls right now. If you're targeting an individual, I believe you're one of the only people who is still okay. And we need to get together. But this also explains why there's a lot of fake targeted individuals, because they monitor us all through our devices and then masquerade as targeted individuals in order to get into the inner cliques of who's connecting with who, and then they infect your devices to take over everything on your devices through the fake targeted individuals who contact you, etc., making it very hard indeed to locate and communicate with other victims. And we really do need to reach each other. I was just saying to God now, I don't know how many real people are here. It is like a horror film. I do feel sorry for myself. I really do. I don't want to be here. I've told you guys this the same. I don't like what I've seen. We've got child eaters and blood drinkers running the world, and they have purposely set it up so they can steal your mind, souls, and feed you people. I was thinking about this when I was feeding the cat earlier. I was thinking, well, this is meat for this cat, but what meat is it that I'm feeding my cat? You know, how sinister are these guys? What is going on? And why, you know, what I find really interesting is, why is it so important that they torture me all day and all night? Again, it's just not normal human behavior. And if you think about it, it's very clever, because as they take over each person, they've already been monitoring us, our characteristics. So when they take you over, they can pretend to be you, and no one else will be the wiser. And then when someone like me reports these crimes, then of course it's really easy for them. They go, oh, no, must be crazy, because the narrative's already been built in this way. And they're part of this hive mind. It is a bit like they live. I have kind of worked out a way to tell who are human and who are not now, which the Lord has told me. And so far I found it to be accurate. So that does give me a little bit of a position of strength. And so there was a lady I was talking to on TikTok who was saying that everything about the technology is AI, but AI from the Bible. And I said, really? She said, yeah. She said one of the chatbots told her. I said, oh, wow, very interesting. But I think it's I really don't want to lose myself into the metaverse, and I find it all quite frightening. I do. And I should not have fear, because I've got the Lord with me. And the Lord has helped me so much today. I had a really big heart-to-heart with him, and I just said, look, I'm really tired, and I need your help, and I need you to step in. And when I was doing the daily light today and the daily sword of truth, you might have heard my voice, but it wasn't me. Jesus did it for me. And I was just hearing myself speaking. I was just like, wow, this is so nice. Thank you so much, Jesus. He said, I'm with you, and I won't leave you now. I'm with you all the way through. So I've got to come to terms with what reality we're in, and try and persuade other people to also understand that we're in a very, very strange time, and we all need to have our wits about us, for our children as well. We've got our children on these devices. They're all, you know, being told they can't go on social media. I thought that's very interesting in England. What are they planning on doing with the children? Under 18s can't go on social media unless they've got ID. Also, what I realized is with Apple's new rules, you have to provide a photograph of your identity, as in driving license or passport, in order for you to have data protection on your phone, like VPNs and ad blocker and things like this. Ad blocker won't work for me on Safari. You know, one of these ad blocker things. Recommend you get those as well. They're very good. Because I think it's because my phone thinks it's on a different iCloud, or possibly because you know, they've decided I'm against the system. So what I've reckoned together with all of this information is that this is a reckoning. Oh God, is it reckoning? Wow. If you in any way go against the system, they'll have access to everything because it's already been mapped out. Every telephone number will be linked with a phone and your ID, and the social medias will all be linked with that eventually as well. The police will arrest you for your posts that you put on social media, as is already happening. But not only this, people will go to jail, and they won't be able to get jobs and this kind of thing. Their bank cards won't work. All of these things all come into play together with the digital ID. And I also want to tell you that if you've got an iPhone, when it's scanning your face, it's doing a retina scan, but it's also scanning your brain. I went to the dentist recently, and at the dentist, the whole layout had changed. And I said to the reception, I said, "Oh, it's changed here. What's happened?" She said, "Oh, we've got a scanner now. When you come in, we scan your brain and your face." I said, "Oh, do you?" She said, yeah. It's a CT scan. I said, "What?" I said, "Don't you need to get my permission?" "No." I said, "This CT scan, but it could harm someone who's pregnant or someone with a heart, pacemaker or something." No, it's only the face, and everything's safe. It's got lead all round, so it can't harm anyone. I said, "Oh, is this on your website?" No. I said, "Oh, wow. Have you got a notice telling anybody this?" No. I thought, wow. Very interesting. I said, "Is this what the other dentists are doing?" Yeah, and the doctors too. I said, "Oh, wow." So basically, as part of your social credit system, you're going to be scanned. And if you notice, all the cameras at the supermarkets, on the fridges, those are going to be retinal scans too. This will all be tied in with your social credit and your metaverse reality. This will be so they can check you're human if you're still here. That's why they do the Are You Human test. And that's why it takes so long to get control of an Apple account. And that's why Apple have designed the accounts to track you, follow you, watch you through maps and triangulate your location through weather, clock, maps, focus. I've got someone on my phone and I'm always sharing my album with them apparently on iCloud. I want to tell you about a dream my daughter had as well. She actually had many dreams about where we are now. She had the dreams about the injections and that people go to hell if they get them, but they can repent. And then she also had some dreams about people trying to break into the house. She said, but they weren't trying to break into the house the normal way. Well, the first dream was people trying to come in through the front door for food. But then the second dream was, I think, about the vaccines. And then the third dream was about the people on the balcony of the next door. And they were plastic people. They weren't real. And it was full of people, she said, plastic people. And there were people trying to break into the house. And she said that we hid away, but they didn't really want us. They left us alone. They wanted our devices. And they took our devices. And she had another dream. And in this dream, she saw a whole room lit up. She thinks it was an open vision. And it was a blue brain, quite big and very bright. And then she saw the Bible. And it was bright white, glowing, like it had a light with it, inside it. And then it closed very slowly. This book closed, and she saw the pages closing of this book. And she said, I wonder what that means. I said, well, I think it means that the blue brain, the hive mind, once it's activated, the book gets closed. So I don't know where we are with everything. But Everything my daughter dreams about connects with what I'm thinking about and what God shows me and everything else. And if you're frightened, I want you to know that I'm frightened too. I am frightened. But Jesus says he's with me. And if you'd like, Jesus can stand with you also. If you're going through a bit of trauma, trying to get your head around what's going on in the world, damn frightening it is. I want you to stand with me today. Stand up. Put your hands in the air. Thank you, Jesus, for standing with us, for being the head, for protecting us, for dying on the cross, for being the blood of the Lamb, that we will anoint our doors and our windows for protection, for the second Exodus that we are hoping and praying for will happen soon, that we may be rescued from this metaverse body snatch, mind snatch. I call you, Jesus, to direct my steps. I don't mind what I have to do. I'll do what I'm called to do. Come and stand with me so I'm not frightened anymore. Hold my hand and walk with me, Lord, because I need you more than I never ever needed anything or anyone. And it doesn't matter if the whole world comes against me. If you're with me, Jesus, I know nothing can overcome me. And that's for you as well, everyone. Jesus knows how I feel. He is my best friend. I tell him everything. But also the reason I tell you how I'm feeling is because other people who are targeted individuals will also know that there is a preacher and she's also struggling along. And if she's a preacher of God, then it means that God has not abandoned her. It must mean that we are all children of God and chosen by God. And that this isn't happening to you because God hates you. This is happening as we need to witness this. And we have to also make our choice. And this choice is we might have to lose everything to gain everything, if you understand, because this is not our place. We mustn't get too comfortable here, and we mustn't become too complacent either. We need to be strong in our belief of the Lord Jesus Christ, because that's all we have. It is actually all we have left. You may have a house right now, and a phone, and all your little lovely gadgets and ornaments. But that very soon won't mean anything to you. Life is about to change, and we need to be strong in the Lord for where we are going. This is a journey that the Lord has directed and written. It is written, so it must happen. There's no excuses, there's no shortcuts, there's no sitting on the fence. And this is a tough road. Not everyone will make it. But Jesus ensures that he leaves the 99 to find the one sheep. And we must count on that. And if we recognize there is a brother or sister that is struggling, we must support them. We must be there for them so that we don't lose anybody. We must do as Jesus did, leave the 99 to find the one. That's why we're here. Try and find the other sheep. Stop them getting lost in the metaverse. Maybe there's something we can do, united together through prayer, for those who have been put in the metaverse. Do you understand? I don't know if it's possible, but I believe prayer is something that will overcome anything. The coordinated attack on individuals, targeted individuals, and actually the mass population is a frightening one. One that makes me very aware that we're in a very, very horrible place. One I believe that Daniel actually went white and pale when he read about. And I believe we're in that part of the book where the Lord said, close that section. Don't write about it. That'll be something that is unsealed later. And I do think we're in that in the Bible. We're written in the Bible. As life plays out, our stories are being written because it's His story. And it's also her story. And it's our story. And so these are elements of the story that are being added right now to build the family of God in love, in unity, through Christ, who is the head. And we are the temple. It's also very interesting when you read the Bible, how it says that Jesus is resurrected from the dead inside us, and He rules. And that, He wasn't mocking God by claiming to be the same level as God. And that we are also like this, that we will also perform amazing miracles. And we must live to be like Christ. And as Paul says, it's very hard when you have a fleshly body. Your fleshly body says one thing, but your spirit says another. It's very hard to be in this reality and deny the body, the flesh, its demands. And it is a very demanding body. Our bodies are very demanding. It's interesting how we have strength through fasting. And that must be because we get closer to the Spirit. And so prayer and singing also helps. I thought it was quite silly how when I pray and sing, this seems to all back off. And I don't know how to express it. I kind of think to myself, oh no, I feel stupid in a way, having to pray and sing for protection. I kind of feel like I should only have to pray once and I shouldn't have to worry about it. But every time I pray and sing, it re-endorses what the Bible says about praying and singing really helps, and fasting as well. So today, when Jesus was with me, I made holy water. My ears were so sore, I couldn't hear, and they were swollen from all of the frequencies that were being fired at me. And I felt a bit blocked up as well. And I said to the Lord, well, I want to do the daily light and everything, but I feel really unwell. So I made some holy water, and I cleaned out my ears, and I started to feel better. Then I had a bath and made holy water in the bath too, and I started to feel much better. And I've gone from feeling really rotten to feeling marvelous, just like that. And it is as simple and as easy as that. And I'm a testimony to that. Yesterday I was in a terrible way, and today I'm feeling so much better. I feel like I'm on top of the world. In terms of, not that I am happy about what's happening in the world, only that I feel stronger I feel nourished and fed by Jesus. And I really I want to just reaffirm that with you. That if you're frightened or feeling intimidated and it's all getting a bit much, don't be afraid to put your hands in the air and just say, I need you to take over. And so I've asked Jesus to take over for me. Just because it's all just a bit too much. And Jesus understands. And you know what was funny? When I was doing the Daily Light and Daily Sword of Truth, I was reading it, but I was thinking about something else. And that's how I know that Jesus was taking over. And as I was listening then to myself again, I was thinking, God, that sounds really nice. I don't sound bad at all. My voice sounds brilliant, and everything's paced well, because I listen to all that kind of thing, you know, when I'm doing the Daily Light and the Daily Sword of Truth, because it's important that the Lord likes it, you know, and He's happy with it. So I was like, wow, that's really good. And thank you, Lord. And so when I made the holy water, it was to cast out all demons and all the nano and also witchcraft, anything, hexes, demons, to clean me, to heal me, and for demons to flee within a 20-mile radius, and for the living water to be alive and transform lives wherever it goes from my home. And so hopefully, if we all start doing that, that will help us around in our neighborhoods as well. Don't forget to hug a tree. This will also help you earth yourself. Having an animal or a cat or a dog is a wonderful thing to have as well. They really are a wonderful gift from the Lord. My cat, actually, what he does is, if they're torturing my bum, he'll come and sit by my bum. If they're vibrating my head, he'll come and sit on top of my head. It's just the sweetest thing. If they're really having a go at him and torturing him, then he will lie facing the wall, very unhappy. So our animals are definitely feeling all of the things that are happening, and so be there for your animals, but also especially young children. Pray over them. Be careful what devices they've got. Often in schools, which just occurred to me, is youngsters get given phones by friends and things as a secret communication. Just keep your eye open for things like that. That's often a sign of trafficking as well, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world. So don't be too proud to start doing searches of your children's things and finding out what they've got, making sure they haven't got any weird tracking things in their clothes or in their bags, because this is a trafficking operation, make no mistake. That is happening in England anyway, and it's happening all over the world. And we've got to keep an eye on our youngsters and protect them. Okay, that's what I think. So hopefully you've got the message. This is the plan. This is also why they want you in the 15-minute cities. There is something else which I need to talk about, and this is about water. So with the data farms, they use a lot of water to cool down the data farms. If we carry on like this, we're going to have no water. Okay. But it also explains why they take over the water supply. For me anyway. And they always make it really cold in my house. this is to cool down the stuff they're using in the house, because it's a data farm. There must be like I hear a fan running, and it sounds like it's like a big machine, and it sounds like a jumbo jet noise, like a ooh, but it's lighter and much more subtle, but it gives you a headache. And I believe that is the fan that they use. It's also similar to a washing machine sound, and also the sound of helicopters can also be similar. I think there's various different ones, but the one with I think they're actually getting all the data. I've heard a machine going up and down at certain times of the day, and it sounds a bit like a humming noise, a humming fan, like it's quite deep actually. It's on in my house. I can hear it, but very subtly today. It's not as strong as normal, because Jesus is here, I think, isn't it, the Lord? Yeah. So basically, with all the water, they're taking over the water supplies, and we've got to look at the data farm centres. We also all need to start contacting our local councils, certainly in England and anywhere else in the world, and asking them questions like, why are you allowing the data centres, the farming of our minds? We need to ask these questions, because everyone's denying that this is happening, but they have told us, and this is what they're actually doing. So we need to start asking questions, and we need to start holding people to account. I think we need to start telling everyone as well. Do your own research, by all means. Don't believe everything I'm saying, but this is from the Lord. So when I watched this video with Elon Musk today, I thought, oh well, that's just what Jesus said. Oh dear. So the Lord always tells me, and no matter how crazy it is, I believe him. So in my dreams, when I first started getting dreams from the Lord about the resets, he told me it all started with the Commonwealth. And then today I was watching on a video, and someone was saying it's all to do with Commonwealth. I was like, oh well, there you are. There we are again. And it is Commonwealth and the monarchy. So I just how can I put it? I've struggled to really study and put all the pieces together because of all the things that are going on. But I can only share the snippets that I get. And I found that there's a few other people who seem to be on the same page as me, and they're talking about the same stuff as I am. And it's like God's giving us all downloads at the same time, which I think is marvelous. So if you're frightened or feeling intimidated or uncomfortable, or you just don't like what's happening, then there's never been a better time to just sort of surrender everything over and say, Jesus, whatever you need me to do, I'm ready to do it. Even if it means just taking the clothes that you're wearing and leaving there, and then without saying goodbye to anyone. As I was shown today, that might be what happens with all of us. We just have to leave, and leave everything before we can't leave. Do you understand? Before we're stuck in the metaverse. So I was talking to God about this today, about me doing the daily lights and the daily source of truth. So, with the phones and whatever, because I don't want to be using smart devices anymore. So, and I want more time with the Lord and my Bible. So I'll be talking to the Lord about what He wants me to do about that. Whilst I want to do that, I also want to make sure I don't lose my consciousness through my phone. It's that simple, actually. So I think for me, it's coming down to having an old-fashioned phone and an old-fashioned word processor and handwritten letters. That's what I'm thinking. But again, the system has been put together so that even if you don't have a phone, they've already profiled you and they've created a profile for you in the metaverse. So I don't think there's much we can do to stop that apart from get out of here. Okay. Let me know your thoughts. Any advice? I appreciate it. I don't claim to know everything. This is a difficult one to navigate, and we could do with a few heads getting together. Maybe I should do a live show or two talking about this, so we can all have a little chat. Maybe I'll set up a live show. If you want me to, put a yes, do a live show, and then I will. All right. It's Ayesha from godfm, and I'm talking today about the metaverse and the stealing of minds and souls. And today is what is today? It's the 19th, isn't it, Lord? 19th of April, 2026. And I just want to say I love you all. And so does Gary, don't you? Say hi. Oh, you're so good, aren't you? And if you want to find me, you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple, X, as well as TikTok and Telegram. As godfm News, godfm New, godfm Radio, godfm Group, and godfm Media. You can email me admin@godfm.uk, and you can WhatsApp me +44 77735 77788. All right, have an amazing day. It's Ayesha at godfm. Take care.